England and Chelsea midfielder Frank Lampard is recognised as one of the greatest midfielders in world football. His goal-scoring ability is a major weapon in the England squad's armoury. Frank James Lampard, born June 20, 1978, felt the weight of expectation before he'd even played a game of football. Preceded by Frank Lampard Sr., a former England fullback and dual FA Cup winner for West Ham, and Uncle Harry Redknapp, another West Ham great and current coach for Tottenham, the young Frank had a lot to live up to. Although he was clearly blessed with natural talent, it would take something very special to improve on their achievements and do the Lampard name proud. Born in Romford, Essex, Lampard spent much of his youth playing football in his local park, with his cousins who are also very talented footballers. From a young age, it was clear that he was destined to follow in his father's footsteps. After earning a place in Heath Park's youth team, he then went on to trials for top-tier English clubs, including Tottenham, Arsenal and West Ham. In 1994, he signed a youth contract with the Hammers, but he made his senior debut while on loan to Swansea City in 1995-96. Upon his return to West Ham, he began playing for the senior side that same year. Lampard had become a regular starter for the Hammers since returning from a broken leg in 1997. However, after his father and uncle both quit their coaching roles, he decided it was time to end his six-season run at West Ham. Keen to stay in London, he joined Chelsea in 2001 for a transfer fee of around €12 million. Then Chelsea manager Claudio Ranieri was a big fan of Lampard's attacking style and was more than happy to assist in making him a more rounded player.
To be honest, for 2 years he's kept on me about defensive duties at times, and I appreciate that because sometimes I look at him, I get frustrated, he's telling me things.
I've lost my voice.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes he wants to put a ball up on the halfway line.
Then in 2003, after billionaire Roman Abramovich brought Chelsea Football Club, Frank's talent really began to blossom.
I think with the interest that the sum was brought on with spending 100 million it's put us on a stage now where everyone's interested in Chelsea, and for sure when we play teams want to beat us because we spend so much. So it means for us every game we must be on the ball, otherwise if we're not concentrating then we can lose.
Abramovich's agenda was spend, spend, spend. His spree saw Chelsea sign 18 new players to the club during the 2003-2004 transfer window. The new signings cost in excess of €150 million and brought in top-flight players like Didier Drogba, Hernan Crespo and Claude Makelele. With so many new faces at the club, manager Claudio Ranieri found it impossible to mould them into a successful team in the first season. Abramovich grew impatient with his side's inconsistent form, and although they finished second in the title race, Ranieri's sacking seemed inevitable.
It would be a miracle if Ranieri was here next season, because he's in the extraordinary position of having his own club, his own employers, effectively briefing against him. Last week there was a tide of headlines in newspapers linking the job with Carlo Ancelotti and Sven-Göran Eriksson, Martin O'Neill. There was a succession of high-profile names. And that information, or those steers, if you like, are coming from inside the club. Now, when the senior people running Chelsea Football Club are sending out those kind of signals, it's impossible to imagine Ranieri keeping the job, even if he were to win the Champions League.
After close to a year of speculation, on May 31st, 2004, it was announced that Claudio Ranieri would no longer be required at Chelsea, and Jose Mourinho, who had great success with FC Porto, would take over the reins. Whether it was Mourinho's new game style or the fact that the new-look lineup had a season under their belt, Chelsea seemed to thrive under his management. And it didn't take long before they started winning some silverware. In the 2004-2005 season, Chelsea's first season under Mourinho, they claimed their second league title in the club's history, finishing 4 games clear of second-placed Arsenal. They finished the season losing only the one game and conceding just 15 goals. Chelsea also beefed up their trophy cabinet by winning the Football League Cup. Lampard finished the year leading the goal scoring with 13 to his name.
We wanted to do it, but we couldn't quite envisage what a reaction we'd have after 50 years of not winning it. To win it, the fans and the celebrations have been unbelievable, and just gives you a taste. We want more of it now.
I don't know if you can describe that little thing on your left, can you? Just show us what it's all about.
I might fall over.
It's going to come down a bit lower. It's going to come down. Oh, look at that.
That's what it's all about.
Under Mourinho's guidance, Chelsea continued to win titles. They claimed the league title again in 2005-2006, the FA Community Shield in 2005, as well as the FA Cup in 2006-2007. Football reporters started calling their game style boring and predictable because they won all the time.
I find it quite funny. We're top of the league and we're yet to lose a game, and we obviously don't agree with them statements. We just keep trying to play and play enjoyable, exciting football and keep winning games.
After a successful era with Chelsea, Jose Mourinho left Stamford Bridge in September 2007 to make way for Avram Grant, who coincidentally was a personal friend of Abramovich. Because of his connections, his appointment was considered dubious by many Chelsea fans and football journalists. However, with players like Lampard at his disposal, the Blues were once again in the mix. Halfway through the season, Lampard was rocked by some family tragedy. On April 24, 2008, his mother Pat died of pneumonia.
No, he didn't train today, and I can tell you that our thought is with him. We are a close family here in Chelsea, and we have all our sympathy from Frank and his family. And just we want to make sure that when Frank will come back, we will still be in fighting.
Although Grant offered Lampard some time off to come to terms with his loss, he decided to play on.
Probably my first game away on my own. I've got a friend with me, Johnny Edwards has come with me, he's a good friend of mine, and something I got to come to terms with, and it's been a disaster, but we have to carry on.
1 week later, in the Champions League semi-final against Liverpool, Lampard showed enormous courage and scored a penalty that put Chelsea into the final. After scoring, he pointed to the heavens in recognition of his mother.
Yes, I think he's a brave man, because he was very, very close to his mother. And what happened with him and what happened in the last days with him, it was not easy to take this decision. But he played well, and he's a little bit happy now.
I think this it just shows that he's got a great character, and I think I'm delighted especially for him, because it's been a really tough week for him. And already he took the decision to play the game, which was brave. And on the other hand, I think it was the best for him to get a penalty, to go to score the goal, maybe the decisive goal, and he could celebrate. And I think this is psychologically a great boost for him, and it is a great honor for him as well as for his mum.
Despite the tragedy, Lampard continued to play impressive football, finishing the season with 20 goals from 40 appearances. For his valiant efforts, he was named the UEFA Club Midfielder of the Year, and despite losing the Champions League final, was upbeat about the team's future.
In terms of the team, I'm pretty excited. I think we've got a great pre-season tour. This is great preparation for us to come away from England, concentrate on the team, the new players, getting fit, and I think we're looking to improve on what we've done in the last 2 seasons, and that means hopefully trying to win our domestic league, the Premier League again, and trying to do well in Europe.
Unfortunately for Avram Grant, it seemed that his friendship with Abramovich wasn't enough to keep him in the head position. Despite leading Chelsea to the UEFA Champions League final and finishing second in the Premier League, after just 8 months at the helm, he was replaced by former Portugal manager Luis Felipe Scolari. With Lampard out of contract at the time, it was up to Scolari to re-sign the attacking midfielder. Despite some speculation, Scolari was confident he would remain at Chelsea.
I meet Frank Lampard yesterday, and I spoke to him that I like him too much as a player, as a person, and I asked him if he wants to stay in Chelsea.
To the relief of Chelsea fans all over the world, Scolari was right, and Lampard signed a new 5-year deal with the Blues worth over €40 million, making him the highest paid player in the EPL.
Well, it's been a difficult period in my life, basically, the last few months, and negotiations have been going on for a long time with Chelsea. But the last few months, what happened in my personal life, I actually asked Chelsea for some time to get my head straight, which is what I thought understandable with what happened. I spent a lot of time with my family, thought thoroughly about what I wanted to do, and now I've come back pre-season. We've had a few conversations in the last couple of weeks, particularly since I've been back from China, and very, very happy that we've agreed and I can sign. I've had 7 fantastic years here so far, and now I've got the potential to have another 5 hopefully fantastic years and finish my career here. Whether that'll be in 5 years or more, I don't know, but that's me, happy and staying at Chelsea.
Like Grant before him, Scolari's tenure with Chelsea was short-lived. He was fired before the season was out. After a brief stint by Hus Hiddink, which saw Chelsea claim an FA Cup, Carlo Ancelotti was signed as the new manager in 2009. Currently Chelsea's top active goalscorer, with over 135 goals to his name, the attacking midfielder continues to play a pivotal role in any future success. Playing for almost a decade with the Blues, Lampard is on the verge of playing his 300th Premier League game for the club. In all competitions, that total is closer to 450 appearances. When Lampard started to make inroads at West Ham, during 1997, he was spotted by England's under-21 manager Peter Taylor. Then on November 13, 1997, at the age of 19, he made his international debut with the under-21s against Greece. He earned his first senior cap in October 1999 in a friendly against Belgium, however was overlooked for both Euro 2000 and the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Lampard had to wait until Euro 2004 before he played in his first international tournament. It was well worth the wait, as he scored 3 goals and was named in the team of the tournament by UEFA. Later that year, he was voted by fans as England Player of the Year. With the disappointment of missing the 2002 FIFA World Cup still lingering, Lampard's blistering form in Euro 04, as well as the international games following the tournament, guaranteed him selection for the 2006 World Cup in Germany. With high expectations on the midfielder as the World Cup approached, he played every minute of England's matches during the tournament. However, unlike Euro 04, he failed to find the back of the net, and England was eliminated by Portugal in the quarter-finals. With goal-scoring midfielder Paul Scholes retiring before the World Cup, it was up to Lampard to fill his void. However, he failed to do so. England's early departure from the tournament was partly blamed on Cristiano Ronaldo and his involvement in Wayne Rooney's red card, but many fans also blamed Lampard and his inability to score. Although he received much criticism from his World Cup display, Lampard received his 50th cap, shortly afterwards against Croatia in October 2006.
It's one of them atmospheres. When you come to these places, you can either suffer with it and the team struggles or individuals struggle, or you can stand up as men and as a team and sort of feed off of the atmosphere. Nothing better than coming to a hostile place and making it quiet and silencing the crowd. That can only happen with our performance.
With the disastrous World Cup behind him, Lampard set about qualifying for Euro 2008. He was keen to move on and focus on the future.
I think it's people always ask about are you pleased to get out of Chelsea, whether you're doing well or badly at Chelsea, and I think it's very good when you come out of a good situation where we are going well at Chelsea. Personally, you're confident, and you just switch into England mode and try and take that confidence into the team. And I think a lot of the lads in the squad
are in teams that are playing well, going well. You know, Man United, Tottenham, us. So it's important that we try and bring that to the team.
However, it was harder to shake his run of bad luck than he thought. In March 2007, he was attacked by a Tottenham supporter.
It's disappointing, you know, you enjoy celebrating a win, and then when something like that happens, it sort of shocks you. But no, I think when a couple of days pass and you don't see it in the front of the papers and everything, then and when you're watching Sky all day, then maybe it will just be something that hopefully can be put right and not happen again.
After England failed to qualify for Euro 2008, their attention shifted to the 2010 World Cup. Thankfully, they qualified with a 5-1 win over Croatia. Since beginning his international career, Lampard has played under several different managers. Sven-Göran Eriksson was his first, who was then replaced by Stephen McLaren in 2006. After a short reign, current manager Fabio Capello took charge in February 2008 and led England through World Cup qualification. Throughout his career, Frank Lampard has played alongside and been inspired by some of the greatest players that have graced a football pitch. Described by Lampard as a man's man, John Terry has played his entire professional football career at Stamford Bridge. Playing as a centre-back, Terry is highly respected by both those who play with and against him. This is shown through his captaincy of both Chelsea and England's national team.
It was a great choice as an England captain. There was, other options, but I found John was a great choice, and he done it in a great way. He is the captain that everyone sees at Chelsea. He's a great leader for us there, and he will be the same for England and is for England. And he didn't come in, charging around, throwing himself around as a new captain. He's a lad's lad. He was talking to all the lads as he always does anyway, and I'm sure he'll grow into it even more. I think his first performance as captain was fantastic to see. John there with the armband, scoring a goal, playing as he always does, and that will just get more and more.
Making his senior debut for Chelsea in October 1998, it wasn't until 2000-2001 that he found himself as a regular in the starting lineup. In 2004-2005, Terry was announced as club captain and led Chelsea to back-to-back league titles. Fellow defender Ashley Cole is another one of Lampard's first-class teammates. Beginning his career with Arsenal in 1999, he enjoyed the Gunners' successful era in the early 2000s, where he won 2 Premier League titles, 3 FA Cups and 2 Community Shields. After 151 league games with Arsenal, he was controversially transferred to Chelsea in 2006. At Stamford Bridge, he continued to win titles, claiming 2 FA Cups, a League Cup and a Community Shield. In 2009, he was named Chelsea's Players' Player of the Year. No relation of Ashley Cole, Joe Cole started his career at West Ham United, playing alongside Lampard in the midfield. A child prodigy, Joe Cole made his senior debut for the Hammers at the age of 17. He was given the captain's armband in 2003. However, as West Ham were relegated that season, he was left with no choice but to transfer clubs. Chelsea picked up Cole for over €7 million, where after a slow start he progressed to a world-class defender. Although they only crossed paths briefly, Italian attacking midfielder Gianfranco Zola no doubt would have given Lampard a few pointers about his game. With a career that spanned 2 decades, Zola spent the first 10 seasons of his club career playing in Italy. Most notably was Napoli, where he played alongside Diego Maradona. In 1996, at the age of 30, he was transferred to Chelsea. There he played a total of 297 games and scored 80 goals over 7 seasons. Whilst playing at Stamford Bridge, he won 7 titles, including 2 FA Cups, a Charity Shield and a UEFA Super Cup. Jimmy Greaves, who was known for his phenomenal strike, debuted for Chelsea in 1957. Considered as one of the finest goal scorers of his generation, he became the youngest player ever to score 100 goals in 1960 at the age of 20 years and 290 days. With a career that spanned over 8 clubs, his time spent at Tottenham was legendary. From 1961 to 1970, he scored 266 goals from 379 matches. However, it would be fair to say that his greatest milestone in his career was being a part in the victorious English World Cup squad in 1966. By Like all modern-day footballers, Frank Lampard's life is constantly in the media spotlight. But with his own TV channel and an autobiography on the market, he doesn't shy away from what it has to offer. Lampard has also been more than happy to invest his time and money into the local community. Putting smiles on the faces of sick children, Lampard happily posed for the cameras when he played one of his most challenging roles, that of Santa Claus.
No, not like this really, I haven't, no. So it's nice to get smiles because, you know, it's not always easy for us to come here as well. You kind of get nervous before, and the kids have been great. Everyone's smiling and happy, and you can put a smile on the kids' face, and they give me a smile as well.
Although there have been some sceptics about Lampard's on-field performances, nobody can doubt his dedication off the pitch. The Chelsea midfielder always seems to have time for his fans.
Players really enjoy doing it. It's a great way for us to give back as Team England to the people, and especially coming to places like this.
One of the most direct ways he communicates with the public is through his very own TV channel, Frank TV, released by the telephone company Orange. Fans can view interviews as well as fly-on-the-wall footage of his professional and private life. However, he believes that the media can pay too much attention to footballers.
There's a lot of spotlight on players, and football's such a popular sport, always has been, but now it's much more in your face. There's a lot more out there in the press and the media as a whole.
He also penned an autobiography titled Totally Frank. Lampard's media forays have earned him £1 or two, but his lucrative sponsorship deals sees the midfielder riding high. Adidas is one of Lampard's largest cash cows, being his major clothing and boot sponsor. Not only can fans purchase the same clothing as a midfielder, but also the same Predator boots. Currently, Lampard's salary with Chelsea sees him sitting tied 5th, alongside other superstars, the likes of Ronaldinho and Thierry Henry. However, his salary of €7.5 million sees him as the highest paid player in the EPL. Throughout his career, Lampard has won some personal honours that place him in the upper echelon of modern-day footballers. He has been named the England Player of the Year on 2 occasions, as well as Chelsea's Player of the Year 3 times. However, his greatest honour was being given the Silver Award for the FIFA World Player of the Year in 2005. Overall, he has received more than 20 individual honours. 2005 was his most successful year, where he claimed 11 of his 22 awards. Now in the twilight of his career, Lampard looks to be finding the form that saw him dominate the competition in Euro 2004. With the World Cup just around the corner, English fans will be hoping he can get back to his best.